The instructor asked for a close combat demo. Human shattered a desk. Chapter 1. The Request. The training hall of the Galactic Academy was packed, a high-domed chamber where cadets of dozens of species gathered for drills. Energy blades hummed, claws clashed, chitin rang against reinforced pads. The instructor, a veteran Zorith with 4 arms and scars running across his plated chest, stood before the crowd, mandibles clacking as he called for attention. Cadets. Today we review close-quarters combat. Each of you will demonstrate technique for the group. There were murmurs, excitement rippling through the room. Demonstrations meant an audience, and an audience meant a chance to show off. The instructor's multifaceted eyes swept the crowd. First, human cadet Mara. A ripple of laughter ran through the aliens. Humans were frail, unarmored, clawless. Close combat was for predators, not soft-skinned bipeds. Mara stepped forward. Compact, lean, hair tied back, expression unreadable. She bowed slightly, hands clasped behind her back. "What weapon?" she asked. The instructor clicked. "None." "Demonstrate unarmed technique." Mara nodded once. Chapter 2. The Laughter. The aliens shifted, smirks obvious even across species lines. No claws. No carapace. "What's she going to do, slap it?" a sauried cadet hissed to his companion. "Maybe beg the desk to surrender," another muttered. The instructor pointed to the reinforced desk at the front of the hall, thick composite material, designed to withstand claws, blades, even the occasional plasma pistol dropped in anger. "Demonstrate," he ordered. Mara walked to the desk, placed one hand against it, and frowned slightly, as if measuring something invisible. Chapter 3. The Strike. Silence stretched. Then, without warning, Mara moved. Her stance dropped, her fist coiled, and with a sharp exhale she drove her knuckles into the corner of the desk. Crack. The entire hall jumped. A spiderweb of fractures raced across the surface. Splinters of composite material fell to the floor. The desk sagged inward, one corner completely caved. Gasps filled the air. The laughter was gone. Mara straightened, shaking out her hand, perfectly calm. That was a basic strike. Focused energy. Precision. Humans call it a punch. Chapter 4. The Silence. For several heartbeats, no one spoke. Finally, a young insectoid cadet whispered. She broke a training desk. With her bare hand, another added. "That material resists plasma fire," the saurid muttered in disbelief. The instructor raised one clawed hand for silence, though none was needed. Every cadet stared at Mara as though she had grown fangs. "Explain," the instructor said. Chapter 5. The Explanation. Mara nodded. Human physiology is built for endurance and adaptability. Our bones are reinforced with calcium phosphate. Our muscles are layered for explosive output as well as stamina. With training, we focus force into a single point. Concentration of momentum allows us to break materials much harder than ourselves. She flexed her knuckles once. The trick isn't strength. It's precision. Even predators waste energy. Humans learn to waste nothing. The cadets shifted uncomfortably. Chapter 6. The Challenge. Trickery. One sauried cadet growled. "You knew the desk was weak." Mara looked at him steadily. "Would you like to feel weak, too?" The sauried sneered, stepping forward, his talons clicking against the training mat. Twice Mara's size, armored scales rippling across his shoulders, he loomed over her. The instructor began to intervene, then paused. Demonstration permitted. "Control your strikes." Mara bowed once. "Yes, instructor." Chapter 7. The Duel. The saurid lunged, claws outstretched. Mara sidestepped. A flick of her wrist, a twist of her hip, and suddenly the saurid was airborne, crashing to the mat with a heavy thud. The hall erupted in gasps. The saurid roared, leaping again. He swung his tail like a mace. Mara ducked, pivoted, and drove her palm into his chest. The impact rattled the chamber. The saurid staggered back, wheezing, stunned. Mara stepped away, calm as ever. Control your strikes. That's the lesson. The saurid collapsed to his knees, defeated. Chapter 8. The Realization. The cadets stared. What they had seen was not brute force, it was efficiency. Movements minimal, precise, devastating. The instructor folded his arms. This is why humans are classified as dangerous in melee. They lack claws, fangs, or armor. They do not lack technique. He gestured to the broken desk. Consider, if their fists can do that to reinforced composite, imagine what they can do to you. Chapter 9. The Aftermath. The session continued, but the air was different now. The cadets watched Mara as though she carried a plasma cannon hidden beneath her uniform. When the insectoid cadet took the floor, he bowed nervously to Mara before demonstrating. The saurid kept his eyes lowered, shame burning across his scales. By the end of the day, the whispers had begun. They shatter stone with their hands. They throw predators twice their size. They don't even need weapons. The legends had grown. Chapter 10. The Whispered Truth. That night in the barracks, the cadets spoke in hushed tones. Do you think all humans can do that? I heard they train children in combat games. Maybe that's why their world is still theirs, despite being a death world. Mara sat quietly in her bunk, pretending not to hear. She knew the truth. Not all humans trained as she did. Not all could shatter a desk or throw a saurid to the mat. But any human could learn. And that was the true danger. Epilogue. The lesson remembered. The next morning, the instructor began with his usual command, form up. This time, no one laughed when the human stepped forward. No one doubted. Because they had seen the desk crumble. They had seen the saurid fall. And they understood now, in close combat, humans weren't weak. They were terrifying.